Hey, what's up, everybody? We just got back from the Mummy.
Here on my left, we have Joseph A. Walker. Here on my right, we have, drum roll please, William H. Gollihar.
You got both of our middle initials wrong.
What's your middle name?
Vincent.
Vincent, that's right. It's a backwards A, so I got it kind of right. So we just got back from The Mummy, starring Tom Cruise. To our left, Joseph.
I felt pretty good about it. I thought they did a good job. Universal. I feel like they did a really good job of tying other stories in to the Mummy story, and it wasn't like overdone or didn't feel out of place. I felt like they found a really good way to write in, like, spoiler alert for Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. They also had what seemed like zombies, or maybe they were just other mummy type. I mean, it seemed like pretty much she sucked the life out of people, but then they were still alive. So it was kind of, I would call them zombies, right? Wouldn't you?
Right.
So I mean, that's kind of like another old thing. And then they hinted at Dracula with the skull with the fangs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say first off, I liked it. But what were your thoughts? I mean, I don't want to get too in depth yet.
What are your thoughts?
Coming out of this movie, the first thing I wanted to do was make sure that I had my receipt so I could get my money back.
Oh. So, what did you guys think about the mummy, the girl who played the mummy? Did you think she was kind of attractive, or?
Yes.
Yeah? I thought she was kind of attractive.
I thought...
Especially, it was cool how she was sucking the life out of people.
Yeah.
And she was becoming, like, more human-like, and by turn, kind of like, or in turn, kind of like more attractive.
Yeah. She was hot. She wasn't as hot as the Anoxina Moon, but she was hot.
My thoughts on the Tom Cruise Mummy is, I would say it was okay. It was alright. I was enjoying myself watching this film. But then, once we got to the end, I felt like, where do we go? And then it made me think about the film. After watching it, I came out thinking about it. Remembering watching it, saying to myself, oh, this is cool, this is cool, this is cool. But at the same time, where are we going, where are we going, where are we going? Like, I was just waiting and waiting and waiting. Even after the end, I was still waiting on, what is this? Like, what does this mean? So, I did enjoy this movie, but then the execution of it didn't sit right for me. And I'm still debating on whether or how much I like this movie. So, Joe, tell us something or all the things you liked about this movie.
Well, I think I actually, you asked me earlier how I felt leaving the movie, and you talking about it actually kind of brought back how I was feeling when we saw it. And I really feel like I'm ready for more of Tom Cruise's role as the mummy, right? A spoiler alert, but Tom Cruise
is the mummy.
Yeah, is Tom Cruise the mummy? Is that what it is?
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
I think
Yeah,
so.
so yeah, I felt good about it at the end. I think his friend being that, like, quirky, like, silly guy, just like,
Comedic
I don't know,
relief.
with the kind of comedic relief. I don't know. That role, it was a little weak. You were talking about this earlier, the plane scene. Tell me about how you felt about that.
I'll jump on that. I'm just going to say real quick what I liked about it. I liked that there were some elements of comedy in it. That, like, there were a couple moments where I was just like, holy shit, that was funny. There just that one line where Tom Cruise is talking to the leading lady, making a joke on the airplane because he gave her a parachute to save her life, and she's like, you gave me the one parachute, you were so brave. And he was like, I thought there was another one.
Yeah, that was.
Best
That
joke.
shit was
that.
hilarious.
I
Best
was
joke.
laughing.
That was
Yeah,
really funny.
that was
And-
funny.
And
I loved that.
yeah, that was awesome. And I like Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is cool. And to follow up with what he said, I thought on the plane, how the fuck they did not notice that his buddy had these fucking spider veins on his face. But he just rolled over and that made it. Everyone's like, oh, he's sleeping, I guess. And that was it. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh, I'm just gonna try and fucking cut it open. And then he makes it racial by stabbing his black captain. And then everybody freaked out. Says, this isn't PC, dude. And that was it.
That plane scene was probably my favorite scene in the whole movie. I love the energy in it. I loved seeing the people being sucked out from the pressure of the plane. Everything was epic. Just them rolling around in the plane and Tom Cruise trying to get the parachute for his lady
The
friend.
like kind of simulation of 0G as the plane is free falling. That was cool.
I felt that just sitting in my chair. And just the intenseness in their face for saying anything like, they're both fucking scared. They're about to die. And then he pulls it and you just hear it sucked out. Like, everything just looks so real. And then Tom Cruise screaming right before he hits the plane.
The coolest part was right there. Right before he
that felt so real. Like, fuck, that's what I'd be doing too. I'd be screaming like,
sit there and you're
scared
like,
at-
fuck. And then,
Yeah. Another scene I really enjoyed was Dr. Jekyll. Russell Crowe is amazing.
he's a fucking...
I was just gonna say when Russell Crowe first came out as being Dr. Jekyll, I did laugh. I was laughing just because it was like, oh, Russell Crowe. Like, I don't know, for some reason that just made me laugh.
Disrespectful.
But I loved it.
I loved it too. I love seeing Hyde coming out of him as he was talking to
He made a real transformation.
Tom Cruise right before he injects his hand with his medicine treatment, where he's just like, hey, blah, 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 blah. Oh, I'm fucking kill you. Like, that shit was cool. And then Hyde himself, I loved he had a fucking British accent, right?
Yeah.
His fucking British accent, his proper grammar, I loved it. Just like little things, how he called him Nicholas, like, instead of Nick, how everyone called him Nick. Like, I don't know. I just loved his whole character. I would love to see a movie just all Jekyll and
And
Hyde.
maybe we will.
I think we will.
Russell Crowe was one of the highlights. Definitely.
And I loved how they like had the technology to where when he put his hand trying to get out, use his hand to get out the door, and it said
They identified,
M.
like,
Hyde or
yep.
whatever.
Tom Cruise's lady in this movie was hot as shit. I loved it.
If you're into gross fucking people.
Nope. Hot.
She was not hot.
Hot.
Basic.
Oh, shots fired.
Some things I don't like about this film, though. The comedic stuff got way too corny for me. That dude from fucking New Girl, I don't know his name.
Ironically, in the show, his name is Nick. Which is pretty funny because he's like, Nick! And I'm like, oh, you're talking to yourself. But he wasn't. He was talking to Tom Cruise.
So not only is he trying to steal fame from a better actor than him,
That's a
he's
theory.
not funny.
Also,
Like,
his name's Jake Johnson.
I refuse to learn his name for lack of talent.
I didn't hear you when you said.
When you said whatever name you said.
Little things he said did make me laugh in the beginning. Him and Tom Cruise in the desert, their banter back and forth made me laugh a little bit. But then it just went extremely over the top.
It was too much.
And it's just like, you're trying too hard to be funny when he just like is excessively yelling repetitively the same joke. We're gonna die. We're gonna die. It was just like,
We're
too over
still
the
gonna
top.
die.
Yeah, like, stop. And then there was this joke. Well, he tried to make it a joke in I believe it was a bus where Tom Cruise lands in, and then he comes back as a dead form of him. And he says something stupid like, that was crazy, or that was weird.
And then the sand pushes him into the bus, and he turns around and
I don't know,
he's just like,
"Whoa, I'm not funny.
That was crazy.
Let's go."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, cut that fucking."
And then out of nowhere, he's like, "I'm a bad guy too," and Tom Cruise is like, "Really?" And he's like, "I don't know, man." And then that was it. And then he comes in at the end. I don't know.
Another thing I don't like: Tom Cruise in this role. I'm sorry. I love Tom Cruise. I thought he did really good. But if he is the Mummy, which I already kind of guessed he was, that character they tried to write for him made no sense to me. They try to bring in this whole theme about, like, he's this bad guy, but there's still good in him. Like, what the fuck? Like, he was good the whole time. Like,
he's not Darth Vader.
Yeah, he was a thief. I didn't see him steal shit to the whole movie. And, like...
I'm pretty sure he was in the army.
Yeah.
So...
Oh, God.
And they're like, oh, maybe he steals some stuff to make some extra money.
Yeah, and then if you're going to
be... guys don't get paid that much, guys.
I think maybe they took a couple, like, gold bracelets or something.
Yeah, but...
That. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, you're not this, like, evil person. Like, if you're the Mummy, then maybe you should have based this character around this guy was really a bad guy. You know what I mean? But then, like, the good in him... maybe was like, oh, there's this evil mummy bitch, and the good in me wants to, like, destroy her because I'm actually in love with this girl. But I'm still this, like, bad motherfucker who, like, does bad shit. But no, it was just, like, everyone he cared about could just be brought back to life. Like, he just easily brings her back to life. I'm just like, oh, okay, then where's the hardship in your character? Where's the danger in this world if no one dies?
There's no consequence.
Exactly. It's like, so the consequence is you have this curse now forever. Oh, but you brought this girl you love back to life, and then you don't.
And you brought your friend back to life.
Yeah, and then you run away from the girl, and then hang out with your friend. Like,
yeah.
Maybe that will be answered a little more in another movie, though.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm assuming they'll either make a sequel or another
I'm sure
Dark
some people will
Universe
go
movie.
and see it. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but I'm reviewing this movie, not some made up movie. That's probably.
Well, they leave you with questions. I mean, that's.
No, they left me with, like, that sucked. They should have made that different. Like, there's no questions. It was like, you brought her back to life. That's dumb.
You didn't have any questions? Like, why the fuck did you do that?
That was a little bit too much for me. The mythology of what this dagger and stone held. It was just like so complicated, and there was like so many options. Like,
I didn't think he would instantly just kill the girl mummy.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think that. I thought maybe they would have some kind of like more of a bonding like scene or something.
Yeah.
And then he would be like, wait, this can't be right. And then like, but it was pretty quick. It was pretty much like,
he was like,
okay, well,
dead.
Like he thought for a second. I think it was just like for a second. It was like a choice he had to make, and he chose, I'm gonna kill her. And then it was
second.
like, it was like a freeze frame moment where it was like, well, I'm gonna kill her. Like, kind of like tempted not to. But
how he brought his girlfriend back to life, I thought was so lazy as well. It's just like, I was waiting like, how's he gonna bring her back to life? What powers does he have?
Do something
and just
crazy?
Fucking yowls
Instead,
in her face.
he just like
and turns ugly.
You slept through your alarm.
Yeah, he's like, wake up! I'm ugly. Like, I felt like the ending was just so rushed to wrap it up to be like, okay, let's turn you into the mummy now, whatever. I was waiting to see how's he gonna turn into the fucking mummy. Like, how's he gonna be deformed? Because the mummy's all wrapped up. So I thought, oh, when he cursed himself, maybe he's gonna get that zombie look on his face, and then you'll see him wrap himself up, like, as the mummy, and then you continue like that's how he got his look.
There was no real like scene, like transformation scene like that. It was just more like
hides in the dark.
You see him in the desert, and he has his hands kind of wrapped and his face kind of covered.
And he has a scarf.
And it's just kind of like, okay, well, where does this leave us? Yeah.
Yeah.
I still liked it overall, though. I would say I like it more than I don't like it. I really liked after when they went into that, like, what was it, like a chapel thing or whatever, and then they were running away, and then he ends up driving to the female mummy, and then driving away into the forest or whatever, the like spooky looking forest, and how they like flip down, or was it, did they flip down a hill?
Yeah, and the car flips over him.
The car flips over.
That was really cool action sequence.
I really liked that scene. I thought at the end of that scene it was really cool. And I loved how very quickly, I don't know what that team was called or whatever, but the people that worked for Dr. Jekyll, they're called... Is that what they're called?
No, they're the ones that killed Osama bin Laden, I think.
Okay. Yeah, whatever that team was called, they ended up just rushing in and like shooting her a bunch and knowing how to take down the female mummy, and that was that was impressive. I didn't think that anyone would come to Tom Cruise's rescue. At that point, I thought he was kind of fucked, basically.
Deus Ex Machina.
When they're trying to drive away from that girl mummy, and then his girlfriend's telling him, she's in your head, that's how we came here. Like, this is where it starts getting a little, like, scary for me, and I'm, like, into it. Like, ooh, this is, like, a horror flick now. Like, ooh, that shit's kind of scary. And then, like, he looks up, and he's like, oh, shit. And he drove right back to her. He's like, she made me drive right back to her. And I was like, fuck, this is scary. So I went from, like, this is very serious. I'm getting really invested in their world. And then I break out of it with, like, it was, like, the serious. And I was like, oh, shit, this is scary. And then you see the zombie mummy bust into their window as they're driving away. I don't know. Then there was no consequence. To me, it just turned to like a random like car scene chase in any action flick. Like to where I was just like, she's in your head. How are you guys gonna like resolve this? And I'm waiting like, what are you guys gonna do to like try to out manipulate her? You know, but then it just, I don't know, just turned to a car scene, and then like you said, then Jekyll's people just come take her down, and then like all the seriousness just like went on and off for me through this movie. Like the intro seems serious when she slices her dad's neck, which I thought was like, I was like, whoa, this movie's fucking dark, and then kills the baby, and then it goes from that, and then to a joke. They even make a joke about it later on where she makes a joke about like, they were different times back then. To be like, to be funny, it's just like
everybody killed their dads and nieces back then.
I mean, which was funny, but it's just like, well, then what do you want me to feel like? I'm trying to feel like, you know, like scared and serious, but then like you're making me laugh about it. Like, oh, it's just a joke. Like,
I think for the older crowd that went to the theater, the movie might have even been too scary. At least maybe some of the way the characters looked. I saw a couple of older couples leave the theater like halfway through the movie. Granted, I did see kind of a late showing, so maybe it was just past their bedtime.
Maybe they didn't like the movie.
Maybe they just thought the movie wasn't good.
Maybe they didn't like the movie.
I don't know. Maybe they had to go to the bathroom.
I think they were too scared.
I think they were just way too scared.
I think
all
they were
the
too
shit
scared.
They probably fought in Vietnam, but that's what did it.
That's the thing. They're like, oh, you don't remember those damn Vietnamese mummies? Fuck. Don't remind me of that. So is that all you didn't really like about the movie?
Who we talking?
I'm looking at you.
Me?
Yeah.
I thought I named it a good
amount. I agreed with some of that stuff. And I mean, I didn't find anything else that I personally didn't like that you haven't said already.
Maybe I'll take a shot at it.
Like I said, I liked the movie more than I didn't.
I don't know. Every time that I felt like something serious was going on, I couldn't really get into it. I felt like it really pulled me out of it. I couldn't take the movie seriously, which is something that in the originals, I always felt like there was truth to this story. And I think a part of that was because like Imhotep was like fucking terrifying. Like he was kind of like really badass. To where this girl, even though she was badass, it seemed like they were pretty much beating her at every turn. Like they're with the harpoons that, oh my god, they're just like the blow darts that stopped her 3,000 years ago. That's horrible. That makes it hurt so much worse. That was stupid.
All right. So, Joseph Walker, just give us your final overall thoughts and your score on this movie.
Well, I left this movie feeling a sense of satisfaction in this Mummy 2017 revival. I'm excited to see what the dark universe brings us next, and I think you should go to the movie theater and decide for yourself how you feel about this movie. My overall score is going to be a 5 out of 7.
All right, my final thoughts on this movie. I liked the movie. Like I said, I was entertained, and it was enjoyable to watch. There were many plot holes in there for me. Maybe not too many plot holes, but just things I felt were lazy writing. I really want to see Johnny Depp play the Invisible Man, and I really want to see Russell Crowe do Jekyll and Hyde. That was the highlight in this film. The action was a highlight in this film. The story overall was weak for me, and it felt very crammed at the end just
Rushed,
to
very
rushed, yeah, to build up this universe, I guess. So we'll see where it goes from here. But I'm gonna give this a 5 out of 10, and go. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, but I do think you should check it out. So whether it's in theaters or DVD or stream or whatever, but I wouldn't say run out to the movie theater right away to watch it. But I do think it is something to keep on your radar, especially for future projects coming out for the Dark Universe.
If you really want to see the movie, then I guess go see it. If you can stream it, stream it. Don't leave your house if you don't have to, is what I'm saying. Gas is expensive. The ticket's expensive. Popcorn's really expensive. Don't buy their hot dogs. I had one. They taste like shit. They're horrible. That's how I felt about this movie.
What's your score?
My overall score is I go on the scale of A to F, and I'm gonna have to give this movie a D.
This is another episode of
Our
Opinions
Plus
Speculation. Oops.
I did it again.
I played with your heart.
Give him your name.
I'm Joseph Walker.
Julian Ortega.
Will.
Signing off.